There's a fire starting in my heart. Well, if you just found yourself humming along to that melody, then congratulations. You're officially part of the millions of hearts that have melted under the spell of the captivating, powerful, and deeply emotional voice of Adele. But did you know that behind those tear-stained love songs, behind the melodies that make people fall silent just to listen, lies a life story full of moving chapters, struggles, and heartbreaks? Not so different from the lyrics she so vulnerably writes. From an ordinary girl in Tottenham to a global superstar, Adele's journey is not just the story of a golden voice, but a symphony of resilience, of emotional wounds that were transformed into art. Little Adele from Tottenham. Born on May 5, 1988 in Tottenham, a modest working-class district in North London, Adele Laurie Blue Adkins didn't grow up surrounded by glamour. She wasn't born into a musical dynasty, nor did she have a silver spoon in her mouth. Her mother, Penny Adkins, gave birth to Adele at just 18 years old. A single mom, Penny juggled all kinds of jobs to make ends meet. Hairdresser, shop assistant, office clerk, anything to provide for her daughter. They lived in a small, cramped flat, nothing fancy, but it was filled with love, and more importantly, music. There were no iPads, no fancy toys, no social media. Adele's childhood soundtrack was made of scratched CDs and dusty records. The Spice Girls blaring in the kitchen, the soulful voices of Etta James and Ella Fitzgerald echoing down the hallway. And somewhere in between those melodies, a seed was planted. By the time she was just 14 years old, Adele had already started writing songs. Not for fame, not for fortune, but simply because she didn't know how else to deal with the feelings inside her. Some sadness can't be spoken. Some emotions no one around you understands. So, she wrote. She wrote to heal. She wrote to breathe. She wrote to survive. Those early lyrics may not have been masterpieces, but they were honest, raw, vulnerable. And when she sang, even if it was just in her little bedroom, it felt like a star had been quietly lit. A girl with no stage, no spotlight, but a voice so full of soul that the world would one day fall silent, just to listen. A heart so deep, it could hold the sorrow of millions. The Music Academy, and a fateful video. In 2006, at just 18 years old, Adele graduated from the prestigious Brit School, a performing arts academy in London known for shaping raw talent into global icons. It wasn't a place for the rich or the famous, but a true creative ground where names like Amy Winehouse, Jessie J, and Leona Lewis once walked the same halls. Adele wasn't the loudest in the room. She wasn't the most confident either, but those who heard her sing never forgot. Her voice, part whisper, part cry from the soul, could bring you to tears, even if you didn't quite know why. One day, a close friend of Adele's uploaded a homemade demo of her song onto MySpace, back when MySpace was still breathing, long before Facebook, TikTok, or YouTube took over the world. And then, something completely unexpected happened. A phone call out of the blue, a meeting invitation, and then, a record deal. From none other than SCCelebrity Recordings, a label known for nurturing unique, authentic voices. Just like that, Adele stepped into the world of showbiz, a world of glamorous lights, but also of pitfalls, pressure, and quiet loneliness. She was only 18. She'd never toured, never done live TV interviews, never stood next to pop legends. But what Adele had was something no school could ever teach. A voice that reached the soul. A heart brave enough to speak its truth. And a spirit, forever reshaping heartbreak into art. I'm 19, when the heart breaks for the first time. In 2008, the world was introduced to a name it would never forget, Adele. And that name didn't arrive with fireworks, no tabloid scandals, no flashy dance routines or auto-tuned hooks. Just a girl who had barely turned 19, standing on a stage, with a piano and a heart still quietly bleeding. Her debut album, titled simply 19, was everything she had. A broken first love, a notebook filled with unanswered questions, and a voice so honest it hurt to hear. The breakout song, Chasing Pavements, was a quiet confession. Should I give up, or should I just keep chasing pavements? Everyone who heard it felt a part of their own pain echoing back. Then came Hometown Glory, a heartfelt love letter to her hometown, a place she once longed to escape. Now, suddenly, the only place that felt like home. No choreography, no glitter, just truth. And truth always finds a way to move people. Critics praised her. Listeners fell silent, and within just a few months, Adele, a girl the world had never heard of, became the new voice of emotion in British music. She didn't scream for attention. She didn't need gimmicks or headlines. Instead, she spoke the language of every broken heart, the feeling of still loving someone, even after they've already let you go. Adele didn't just sing, she understood. And that's why she didn't just top charts. She reached hearts. Here's the English translation of the next chapter in Adele's story. 21. The emotional storm that swept the world, written in a soulful, cinematic tone, perfect for AI voiceover narration. 21. The emotional storm that swept the world. If 19 was the quiet sob of a first heartbreak, then the 21, released in 2011, was a full-blown emotional storm. A storm born from the ashes of a devastating breakup that nearly broke her. Adele thought she had found real love. But then, it all collapsed. There was nothing left but tears, cheap red wine, and endless nights alone in an empty apartment. She didn't hide from the pain. She embraced it. She sat down, picked up a pen, and began to write. Rolling in the Deep. A fierce, soul-shaking anthem for the one who left. We could have had it all. No more begging, no more waiting. Just raw anger, built from all the dreams that should have been, but never were. Someone like you, the heartbreak ballad that silenced the world, just a piano and her trembling voice. And yet, it was enough to bring millions to tears. I heard that you're settled down, a blessing in disguise, and a dagger to the heart of anyone who's ever loved and lost. And then, the impossible happened. 21 became a global phenomenon. #1 in over 30 countries. Grammys, Brits, and Billboards came pouring in, over 30 million albums sold. She was no longer a rising star. Adele had become a global icon. But maybe the strangest part was this. While the world sang along, wept, and mourned with her lyrics, Adele was still healing, quietly, privately. Success didn't erase the pain. Fame didn't make the loneliness go away. She was doing the only thing she knew how to do, turning pain into art. After the dazzling peak, Adele disappeared. No scandals, no press conferences, no promises of a comeback. She simply stepped away, switched off the lights, vanished from the stage that millions were still watching. Just months earlier, Adele had been standing at the top of the world. Millions of albums sold the biggest stages on the planet. A voice that made the world stop and listen. And yet, just when everyone thought she would keep rising, Adele chose the opposite. She chose motherhood. She chose a quiet life. No red carpets, no flashing lights, no paparazzi waiting outside her door. To many artists, that's considered career suicide. In a world that only remembers you when you're still in the spotlight, disappearing often means being forgotten. But Adele never cared about that. She wasn't chasing fame. She was chasing truth. And in that moment, her truth needed peace. It needed motherhood. It needed her to be human, not a star. She once said, "Music is a part of me, but my son is my whole heart." 25. Hello. An apology from the past. It's me. After 4 years of silence, Adele returned in 2015 with the album 25. And as expected, it became another musical bombshell. Hello, it's me. Just 3 words, and the world stood still. 25 felt like a phone call to those we once left behind, an apology to a younger self, a reflection from someone who has lived and hurt. The album shattered first-week sales records in the US, surpassing even NSYNC and Taylor Swift. And Adele, despite her time away, had never truly left her fans' hearts. Cracks in the spotlight. But the spotlight never shines forever. Adele faced a divorce after nearly a decade of being together. She shared, "I felt like I failed my son. I tried, but love can't fix everything." And that's when 30, her latest album, was born, a journey of healing, an Adele who had grown yet still bore scars. No more anger, no more blame, just a quiet voice saying, "I'm trying to understand myself." The Queen's comeback in true Adele fashion, no gimmicks, no TikTok challenges. Adele returned with a prestigious Las Vegas residency where each night felt like emotional therapy through music. She lost over 40 kilograms, not to win her ex back, but to save herself. "I want to live long enough to see my son grow up," she said. No need to act young, no need to chase trends. Adele remains Adele, a timeless icon who shines without the noise. "Tu trai tim tan vo den de che ti don gai homne. Adele kong chi la mot kasi. Ko la thuang hu la jiakmo la min chung rang noibon kong pai la yudoi mako the trothan gethuat. Tai san uok tin hon 223 USD. Album now kong kan quet jai thuang. Jionka now kong bidim so san. Nong chiko mot Adele." And that was today's story. If you found it interesting, feel free to give me a like and share. It really helps me stay motivated to make more videos like this. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any of the upcoming stories. And if there's a celebrity or public figure you'd love to hear a story about, just drop their name in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. See you again in the next story.